Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday the 25th. I was listening to one of these guys that I'm not sure, he's not really a motivational speaker. He's more along the lines of he just has a lot of really good ideas. And his name's Simon Sinek. Simon, S-I-N-E-K. And he talks about how, if somebody that we know, comes into like dinner or an office, says, you know what I just did? I gave somebody $20. And people most likely react, oh, cool, that's good for you. And that's, like you give them a dollar or two and people are like, oh, okay, cool. But if you were to come into the office on a Tuesday and people are like, oh, hey, where were you yesterday? I was like, oh, I spent yesterday, helping to build a school in a poor neighborhood. And he's like, huh, wow, that's really cool, And he tells the story about walking through New York talking with his friend, and somebody's bag opens up, and there's, a student, and their schoolwork goes flying everywhere, and all these papers go flying, and they help him and his friend pick up the papers and give it back to the guy and tell him that his bag is open and that he might lose more papers if he doesn't close it. And the fact the guy walks on, and there's a guy who happened to be, saw the whole thing and said, you know what, guys, that was really cool that you did that for him. And it's the feeling that doing something, not just necessarily giving somebody something. It's not, he talks about how giving money to somebody for something like paying somebody to shine your shoes, or paying somebody to dry clean your clothes or something like that. It's basically something that we hold that is valuable for a service or a good. And he says that the way that things used to be was that, if somebody dry cleaned my shirt, I would make them a stove or make them something of value for their house. And so you would trade time and energy for time and energy. It just wouldn't be an empty gesture like, we have a lot of abundance of money and capital and things in the United States, and going to a poor country, we can live like millionaires, live like kings and queens and all that. So the fact is that his argument is that the world would be a lot more balanced if everybody exchanged time and effort for goods, time and effort for time and effort, so, if, and I actually read a lot about this on David Miller's book that I just finished last night. It's called AWOL on the Appalachian Trail, which is a trail that starts in Springer, Georgia, goes all the way up to Katahdin and Maine, and it's 2,200 mile hike, primarily hiked by recent college students, college graduates, guys, people in the midlife crisis, or people that have retired. And it's and along that trail, it's you're not gonna have it's difficult to kind of feed yourself and to house yourself and to lodge yourself and find lodging and things like that along the way. So there's a lot of acts of kindness and a lot of acts of people doing nice things for other people because either somebody helped them, or that they want to just help somebody in hopes that something good happens to them in the future. And so the thing that I got out of that story, and a large part and many portions of it, was the fact that along the trail there's a lot of these small little towns that are that have people who have hiked the trail that live there, who now understand what it's like to go on this journey and to house them, and to they bring people in and let them stay for free, but they get lodging for the night by cleaning and helping clean up and cook and all that stuff. So it's they work for lodging, they work for food and stuff like that. So it's a fair trade. So what I was discussing earlier with Simon Sinek was the fact that yesterday for me, it was a day when I felt really good, because when you do something good for somebody, and not for recognition, not for, posting it on Instagram or posting it on Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, it's like, hey, look, I'm helping this homeless person. The fact of doing something just for the sake of doing something, and not, without the expectation of, hey, that was really cool, or hey, I got that on video, want me to post it, or something like that. You just do it for the sake of being nice. That it releases dopamine into your brain that makes you feel good, and that doing things for other people, helping other people, kind of get that aha moment, or that moment where they wake up and they realize what's going on. That moment, just basically helping other people. So yesterday, Monday was sort of a, one of those kind of days you kind of sludge through, and it just goes slower than other days. But Tuesday I had the entire day, I had to talk the whole day. I have another 4-hour training this morning, but yesterday I had a time when I connected with a few people, and I felt like I got that aha moment where I got them to realize that what's going on, what they need to do, and that, the way that they've been living, that wasn't necessarily wrong. It was just that they can be utilizing their time much more efficiently. So yesterday, I came home yesterday, and I felt really good because, I got a shot of dopamine that day. It felt good to, it felt good to help other people out, and I used an analogy of crabs in a bucket, because a lot of the Native American tribes, reservations, and populations have sort of, you notice when you become ingrained in the culture and see things firsthand, that there's a lot of crabs in a bucket mentality. And the crabs in a bucket mentality is, there's two fishermen, and they both have buckets full of crabs. One has a lid, the other one doesn't. And the one without the lid, or with the lid, says, why aren't you putting a lid on your bucket? Aren't you afraid the crabs will get out? And the fisherman goes, no, I'm not worried at all, because when one of the other crabs tries to get out, the other ones pinch it, pull it back down, and like break its legs, and so it can't get out again. So the analogy for that is that, other people try to make it out the res, try to do better for themselves, because people are chastised for that. People on the res who aren't raised on the res are looked at differently. It's like they come back, and it's like, you haven't lived your whole life, you don't know what it was like, type of thing. And the crabs in the bucket is when you see someone who goes to college and comes back and tries to use that education to better things on the reservation, and other people look at them like, you think you're better than me? You didn't spend your whole life on the res. And so there's that crabs in a bucket. Or someone tries to succeed, and other people try to dig up dirt and make them look bad, because it makes them feel good about their position in life. So it's beating other people down and dragging them down to your level, because you can't get out of your level, and you want other people to live in the same misery that you have created for yourself and consistently live in and refuse to get out of. So that's the crabs in the bucket mentality. And I used that analogy yesterday, and I said, but on the other side of the spectrum, there's crabs in a bucket. But have you seen how military training on an obstacle course goes? When they get to that wooden fence where they all have to hop over it, what do? And one person goes, well, they run up to the fence and they jump over it. And I said, no, it's the first person that gets to the fence, they get on their hands and knees, and they pick people up and get them over the fence. And then the last person that jump over reaches down, grabs the other person, and pulls them up and over. So the analogy that I use for that is, you do good things for like 4 or 5 people, and before you know it, people are helping you out of your darkest moment, or the time that you need help the most. So I said, you can either drag people down to your level, or you can help out a bunch of people, and then when you need help the most, help's there. And that, you should have patience, because it's not always going to happen right off the bat. Sometimes you need to consistently be doing good things over and over again, and being nice to people over and over again, and eventually karma will come around. And I believe in karma. I do. I believe if you do crappy things to people, that crappy things are going to happen to you all the time. If you're not an honest person, you're going to lose your wallet, you're going to have things stolen from you, this and that. You're going to, but if you're a good, honest person all the time, doing the right thing, and that eventually things will turn around for you. And so that's what I explained, and I saw that light go off for a few people, and so that was really cool. So I felt good about that yesterday. So that's the lesson for today. That doing the right thing over and over again to people reciprocates, and that you can't have a crabs in a bucket mentality. Don't drag people down to your level. You know, use inspiration to get out of your position, to get yourself out of that spot and make things better for yourself. You know, and then eventually when you start helping out other people, somebody will help you out. You know, nobody owes you anything. Nobody has to help you out, even if they're related to you or not. The thing is, you help other people out, other people will help you out in your time of need. And that's it for today. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow morning.